What I'm good for, what I'm built for, is defending things that need defending.
South Seat.
Marker?
The journey started on The Old Man by acquiring Thomas Perry's book. And when I read it, I thought this felt like a wonderful movie that perhaps in the right hands, it could be a series. And the only writers and partners that I went to were John Steinberg and Dan Schatz.
There's a little bit of shadow, and then it's like...
Before we'd even read it, we sort of said, yes, we just wanted to work with Warren. And we read it, and we saw what he saw, I think, which was a great idea, a great tone, a great character, a great journey to put that character on.
Immediately, we were just taken away by it. We were obsessed with the character at the center of it. We were obsessed with the world that it inhabited, and the launch of it, I would say, was the thing that I think kept us from doing anything else.
You have no idea how different the game is than the last time you played it.
As far as projects that I get involved with, it all gets down to the casting. And I'm not talking about just the actors, but the team that's assembled to pull off this magic trick we're all going after.
Any more you send it, ma'am, send them back in bags.
It's rare in this business to be able to be a part of something that is just such a work of art around people who care about making art, who care about telling story, who care about the silent moments as much as anything else.
You know, they're very involved naturally as showrunners, but they're very thoughtful and naturally really excited about this project. So when they talk about it, they kind of like light up. And as they let me know what's coming, I'm just like, what? Oh my God, that's insane.
Here we go. And action!
John Steinberg particularly understood the themes of the show and what would it really be like? Let's not just do a movie, but let's go really into what is it like to be a hero? Someone who is a government agent, goes to faraway places, and has to do extraordinary things.
This is not someone to underestimate. There's no limit to the damage he'll do.
When Dan Chase is confronted by this dilemma of, am I the hero in my story, or am I the villain in someone else's, it is entirely possible that both of those things are true.
I don't think the story is a Western, but it has Western tropes. There are things in it, in this very modern day story, that you could see those Western ideological things happening. But I also feel like this story taking place now is insanely relevant. People right now are facing questions of mortality, questions of, am I doing what I want to be doing? What do I care about?
Keeping you alive and safe became the priority. It's very helpful to have what I like to call real guys, you know, a guy who is really doing what your character does in the film. And we're very lucky to have Christopher Huddleston on the show.
The CIA has many, many different jobs. I was in a role called operations officer. So we're the ones that are actually going out there and spotting, assessing, developing, and recruiting human assets to collect the intelligence directly from the sources that have the information.
He had lived a life overseas and had worked for many agencies. I'll just put it like that. And he was really there for us as we were building this story, because one of the most important things that John and I felt in building this was authenticity.
I was able to kind of see how we could dramatize some of this stuff in a way that lends authenticity, but is still super accessible for a viewing audience.
Anytime I have a question like, what would you do, Christopher? He'll always put me on track and say, this is the way it's supposed to be done.
We needed a director who would bring it to life.
The beauty of the situation with John Watts was that we had a sense of what we wanted it to be, and then he came into the room to meet with us, and it was as if he had been in our heads and in our conversations for months. He was able to add all kinds of things that, frankly, none of us had even begun to imagine yet.
Come with me, I'll tell you everything.
We love the group we put together. We love what we're trying to say with the story, and I just feel like it's coming out at the right time.